I was feeling some type of way. The spirit of loneliness brought not just me looking at and comparing my life. Comparison is a thief of joy. So I was comparing why I wasn't married. So I'm like, okay, well, if he seemed a little interested, maybe I just do something different so I can get him to be like, be with me, right? Want me.
This is Chidi Osuji.
And this is April.
And this is the Use Your Faith Today podcast. We just hope that you enjoy as we talk about faith, family, love, and life. So grow with us, join us, and enjoy.
Enjoy.
And we're back. She has the giggles over here. This is the Use Your Faith Today podcast with Chidi and April Osuji. We're continuing the story of how we met and trying to sprinkle in a little bit of, jewels, if you might call it that, along the way that we kind of learned.
Jewels.
So where we last left off, April, we had just finished our second go around as a relationship. I had broken up with you again, not because I was, being willy-nilly about your heart. It was just because I was really like struggling. It was struggling for me. It was like I was just drained emotionally in some ways. Maybe because I was so dug in, but still wasn't what I really envisioned myself getting into, whatever like that. So we broke it off again, and so maybe a year goes by. We're still doing this whole song and dance.
More than a year.
Well, maybe I think it is a year, but okay.
It was more than a year after. I think we had a little bit more than a year in between. And
maybe so, yeah.
Once again, he's still going to the church. There was still qualities about him that I like, so I cannot lie about that. And there was times when we was doing like the whole like let's go out as friends or what that looks like. Yeah. And you let's be honest, you can't go out as friends.
I was bringing that up. We had maybe after the second breakup, it was still a thing. I was still wondering like what am I missing here? Like what did God show me, but it's not lining up. Whatever. I'm still struggling with that. Asking every Tom, Dick, and Harry their opinion about it, because it's like what am I missing?
And you gotta be careful who you asking about.
That's true.
Your relationship.
That's
like
true.
You have to have a team of trusted, integral type of people that's helping you to navigate through intentional dating to marriage, right? Because everybody got their opinion. Oh, girl, da 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 da, and that's everybody got that one friend or one family member but it's really important that you be around like-minded faith people that all have the same like-mindedness and they will give you direction when you can't see, right? Instead of going to any and everybody. And that's one thing I will say. I value my team. Very selective few people that I listen to that I would say like, okay, what do you think about this? Can you be in agreement with me with this, with anything in my life, whether it's relationship, whether it's with school, career, job, promote, whatever it was, I just had my select. So I want to say that you have to be careful not to listen to everybody.
That's true.
Because everybody may not have the best.
What do you say to the person? Because you said obviously you had your dad and your mom who you would talk to about your relationships, and also during your single journey, and even when I came back around, these are the people that you came to. What if you don't, as most people don't? What if you don't have an insightful spiritual mother and father at your fingertips that you can call or just knock on their bedroom door to ask some questions and get their guidance? What if you don't have that?
Well, you should seek after somebody who can be that person. Everybody needs a person, right? Just like every pastor needs a pastor. Like my pastor had two pastors, one passed away, and so everybody needs leadership. We can't do this on our own, right? Yeah, it's good that maybe your mom or dad or cousin, but you have to seek after people that you feel that you can trust to give you direction, right? If we know it all, we might as well go to heaven,
right?
But I ain't going to heaven. I got too many things God is doing in my life. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So I think that it's having teams, it's having people around you have the best interests that can see where you're going, that can pull you and say, hey girl, you out of line. I had people that said that you out of line. And that's what I need, right? I don't need to have too many cheerleaders in my corner. I need to have people that's going to say to me, hey, April, that ain't right. They ain't right. Call me out on my stuff, right? Having those type of friends, and maybe that's friendships, right? So I think that it's important when you are intentionally dating, to surround yourself with somebody, and who can be that example to what you are looking to strive for.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah.
Okay. So, so yeah. After the second breakup, yes, some time passed, and I was still going back and forth, like, ah. But that by this time, I was like, look, I'm not going back until I see the holes in the palms of Jesus'
That's what he
hands
said.
at the base of my bed. I'm
That's what
not
he
going back
said.
because she's still cute, but I know 2 times I went back and it didn't work. Something wasn't working for me. So at this point, I'm still feeling some kind of something towards her, but I need to see the holes in the hand before I go back to it. And during the course of that, so I kept my distance, maybe playfully flirt, but still kept my distance because I didn't want to get too close, sort of like that, and lead you on and stuff like that.
And
But
you got to be careful with the playfully flirting thing. I mean, you
talk
was
about
doing
it.
that. I mean, it's like hee ho ho. But listen, it is. I always say this, and I said this to just a youth person at our church. I was like, it can never go back to the original state of the relationship, right? You've crossed over into feelings, emotions, especially if you became intimate with that person, right?
We
So to
didn't do
go
that.
back,
We didn't
no,
do all
which
that.
we didn't do that. But I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general, right? And so you have to be so very careful, even with that flirting. You putting yourself out there, right? And you reopening wounds and thinking like that flirting. Oh, yeah, he playing me. Hey, big head, you look at it, and you just flattery. And the Bible even talks about that, like you shouldn't even be like so engaged with flattery, right? You know what I'm saying? And it causes you to think that something is there and it's not, and they could just be doing it just because they know that you like it, and you got to be careful with that. And so I will say that was probably one mistake that we kept entertaining, is the whole like cutesy flirtation and stuff like that, because it's not fair to whomever, let's say for example, who you could have went with, or if I was going to go with somebody, because I'm still flirting with you or entertaining something that we clearly hadn't made it work. So I really say I think that was a mistake, right? We learned from it, with the whole flirting thing. And it was something that opened up for me, because then we'd go out as friends, which is like, no, ain't no such thing as go out as friends. I mean, you spend enough time with the opposite sex, you want to be more than friends.
But you're jumping the gun a little bit. Yes,
Why am I going to jump in the gun?
You text me and said, "Hey, I'd like to go out with you again. I know, whatever happened before."
Yes, I did, because this is
You
the
did that.
flirtation. This
You
is why.
text me that.
Because how did that text come? The text come, and we put the precursor, because we were flirting, because we were entertaining each other. So I'm
Because you
like,
still were feeling them, brother. You're still
oh
feeling
my
them.
god, this man
What's not to
is
feel?
something special. You are something special. Yes, I said, I have admitted there was qualities about him that made me say, I really think I like him. I really want to see where this goes. Once again, you got to hear my history. I was on and off with somebody for 10 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here it is. I'm repeating a pattern.
So now looking back, because there are people that might say, "Ooh, he broke up with her twice, and she still came back and wanted to still be with him." What do you say to those people that be like,
And
think
I
that you were
say
sent
that,
for
and
that?
at the end of the day, that was, you come to the realization that, why am I going back and forth? And when you get healed, that's why I said the first time my healing looked like something like, okay, let me get in the word, let me redefine who April is, let me, whatever the case. But at the end of the day, the spirit of loneliness was still there. I didn't want to be alone. And here it is, I'm in my 30s, okay, early 30s, and I'm seeing other people get married, have children, and stuff like that. So entertaining anything was trying to take away the loneliness. And then that's when, fast forward, I had to do a real deep consecration. I would say that. But it was the spirit of loneliness.
That's what it was.
You go, I don't want to be by myself. I take somebody back and forth, because I don't want to be alone. At least I can smile and say, well, he's still feeling a sister. Just for my own ego. But it's a loneliness.
Is there anything that, because you went back and forth with the last guy, that you were comfortable with the back and forthness
Yes,
with me.
loneliness. It's just you feel comfortable being going back and forth with somebody just to fill that void.
Yeah.
You know, when Jesus really is, and I say this, and I know, like I said, it's a Christian show. When Jesus is the center of your life, he fills those voids. But sometimes we don't give him that part. You know what I'm saying? We do like this. Hey, God, here's the living room. Here's the bedroom. But that basement, we keep it over here. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with that. I ain't ready to give that part of me up yet.
Yeah.
You know, you can still be leading, you can still be preaching, you can still, but have you really said, Lord, here am I for real? Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. And that was my scripture. I was thirsting. I wanted more of him. But can I be honest and say I gave it all to him? Did I really give it all to him? Because that spirit of loneliness was there. It was there. I didn't want to be alone. I was feeling some type of way. The spirit of loneliness brought not just me looking at and comparing my life. Comparison is a thief of joy. So I was comparing why I wasn't married. So I'm like, okay, well, if he seemed a little interested, maybe I just do something different so I can get him to be like, be with me, right? Want me. You know, you got comparison, you got loneliness, you got the spirit of rejection.
A lot of people deal with that.
You rejected me, right? And you know, it's so many different facets that come through just going back and forth. That's why you don't have. That's what the Bible says. Give no place to the devil. Flirting, giving a place to the devil.
Okay.
It's we you know, hey, we cool, but
that reminds me of the story about Creflo and Taffy Dollar, where she just said, "I'm interested in you," and walked away. There was no flirting. She just put it out there, and that was it.
And that was
and
it.
she waited for him to pursue her.
Yeah.
So that's something right there. With
it's something. It's something to just put that out there. And I just, like I said, it was more so me allowing the societal norms to dictate my dating relationship, even knowing what I knew with God, especially at that time, just going back and forth. And so, yeah, you know, I said that let's go out as friends, just the companionship. Let's hang out. Let's so you can see that I'm this person, because I never want to feel like I'm being rejected, right? Nobody likes rejection, you know. And I am a being the oldest of four. I always think in my mind, I have to fix it. I have to fix it. I have to fix it. So let me do something different so I can fix, so you can see that I am just a great person. You know? Yeah. And so, you know, you think about that, and truth be told, you know, wasn't at that time, you know, we look back and whatever, but I know that last consecration I had.
Yeah. So we went out as friends, and that there was a time where, you know, we would go out every Sunday or so after church. You know what I'm saying? That was like our friendship time together, hanging out. Because I wasn't ready to jump back in, but I said we could spend time together.
But we were in a relationship.
No, we weren't. Because we said we're hanging out as friends. And I made that very clear at the beginning.
You say
we can hang out but we hang as friends.
But if I would have told him that, hey, we hanging out as friends, but now I'm talking to Johnny, I'm about to work out, you know, hang out with Johnny at about 5:00, and I hang out with you three, you would have had a problem.
I would be like, why did you reach out to me and say you wanted to hang out and spend time with me?
I'm hanging out because we could be open.
Okay. Well,
but see, this is what I'm saying. That's why I say you can't play with that. You playing with. We were playing, and this is what we're trying to tell people: don't play with each other's emotions. You don't want to be in a relationship. You don't want to be intentional with your dating. Don't go back and forth with that, because if I'd have said that, and you did say to me that you was liking another young lady, and now
we'll get to that.
We get to it now.
Okay, we'll get to it now.
We flowing now, right?
So
now.
Yeah, so we were. So, come on, I'm trying to, you know, draw it up.
Why are you trying to draw a map?
I'm the captain of this ship.
People want to get. Don't y'all want to hear? Don't you want to hear what you got?
I'm driving the thing.
Fine.
Okay, so
all right, drive the car.
So we were hanging out after service. You know what I'm saying? That was Sunday. Was our after service, our day to hang out. Go out for, you know, a little snack or something like that, or get some ice cream somewhere, sit and talk. Yeah, but after a while, it started kind of feeling like an obligation. An obligation. I'll just be honest. And at the same time, I was entertaining other women, other ladies. I was still looking to be married. I was, and if I know what the Lord had showed me, but something wasn't lining up, so I was still entertaining girls, and I was on dating apps, and people, aunts and uncles were trying to hook me up with this one and that one, and so friends were trying to hook me up with this one and that one. So I was still playing the field like that. And so when it starts to feel like an obligation to hang out, and I'm here spending money, I mean it's like a date because I'm spending. We're going out as friends, but I'm paying for it.
That's why I said it was like
exactly.
Right.
So I said, in my mind, like this is it's like an obligation, and I'm talking to this girl. So I came to you one day at the church. I said, I know we're supposed to go out today, but I don't think it'd be fair to you or the young lady that I'm talking to right now. And you paused and said, what?
What did I say? That's the reason why I'm trying to help people to navigate in relationships and dating, because we were going out, emotions are there, we hee ho ho, and everything was fine. And I kid you not, we didn't argue. We didn't have any it was really mellow. It was really nice. I enjoyed his company.
Probably because there were no expectations, right? We were
There was
as
no
friends.
expectations. We were as friends, quote unquote, but we were just enjoying. So when he came to me and said this, and I remember how I looked because I think I had a long wig. I had a long wig. I was looking like Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett. I had my long wig on, and I had a white suit on. Okay, and I put him against the wall, the church wall, literally, not in no type of way. And I said, "It ain't gonna work," and walked away. It ain't gonna work.
And what happened next? We'll find out in the next episode of the Use Your Faith Today podcast. If you want to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications for us, you may do so. If you want to get 15% off at useyourfaithtoday.com, use the code UYFTPOD. Also, if you have a question, email us at useyourfaithtoday@gmail.com. Woo! She's a bad sister. We'll see you next time.
Don't play with me.